people don't question whether leadership has the capability to take the organisation to the next step. That is a downward spiral, and most, if you're lucky enough not to know that culture, then you've been very fortunate. In contrast to that culture, what we created in this project was this idea of certainty. So where there's doubt, let's create certainty. And where certainty is, trust evolves and develops. And so what we're talking about is there's a high trust environment in the thinking realm of the people. When someone says yes, and they say yes to a promise, it means yes, and they don't need to second guess or duplicate or watch what's going on. They don't need to micromanage because they trust each other. And where trust evolves in an organisational system, within an organisation, where there's high trust, we start to care for the other person, in that when we make a promise that says, yes, tomorrow I'll have that on your desk at 2 o'clock, I know that you'll have it on my desk at 2 o'clock, and if you don't, you will renegotiate with me. And all of a sudden there's a certain hygiene in relationships that enable me to care for the other person, and ultimately probably love, which can be a big task in organisational life. That's in the feeling realm. So feelings, think about values and behaviours that are focused on caring for each other. So the last one is in your actions. And what we did is match the fear that is often in organisational life with courage, the ability to make a stand when everybody else thinks something else, okay? And in an organisation where people are encouraged to have courage, often we learn about our blind spots and we rebuild the right path rather than blindly glowing along. So trust, care, courage was what we created in the project, and what we noticed is that created an upward spiral that led to people demanding certainty. When people made a promise, they kept it. People started to care for each other because they could see everyone else caring for them, and they could name things that they normally wouldn't name in other organisational contexts because there would be no value in having that courage. So they were the three things that came out of the project, as well as the $7 million reduction. So everybody won in that system. Now, what I observed in that system was a change in style, and this may be relevant to you listening. Most organisations operate with a hierarchy, and this first step one is just a hierarchy redrawn, in that you, the leader, is in the middle, and you have your direct reports all around you, but they're not connected. So you, as the leader, are going to each one of those independently, giving them information and sharing some information that they share with you to others. But the system is flawed and slow. Okay, so everything passes through the manager. It's a management by control that we spoke about previously. Process tends to be slow. And it's driven by the person in the middle who's the leader, and basically the system works based on their capacity.